All right, let's do a quick run through of page 3 on your study guide. So if you look at number 1, you're actually looking for the hypotenuse. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I've worked all of that out, and you'll see you get the square root of 149. That will not simplify, so go ahead and punch it in your calculator, and you get 12 2/10 for x. Notice that is the largest measurement. The hypotenuse should always be your biggest number. Number 2, now x is a leg. Notice it helps create the right angle. So x squared plus 19 squared, your other leg, equals your hypotenuse squared. Now the square root of 80 will simplify. Okay, so what I did with this is I just did 16 times 5, which is 80, and the square root of 16 is 4, giving me 4 square roots of 5. Now when I plug it into my calculator, I get 8 9/10. Okay, number 3, more of the same. X is a leg, it creates your right angle, so x squared plus 16 squared, your other leg, equals your hypotenuse squared, giving you the square root of 473. That will not simplify. The decimal equivalent is 21 7/10. On number 4, you'll notice x is directly across from the right angle, so that's your hypotenuse. But both of your legs are decimals, so when you plug these in, don't try to simplify the radical with the decimal. Just go ahead and take the square root of 191 93/100, and that's the only answer you have to worry about. Now on number 5, you're asked to find x. If you'll notice, this is an isosceles triangle with an altitude dropped. So that altitude is going to divide that 18 into 9 and 9. So what you can do is use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared, your two legs, equals c squared, which is going to be your side that you're looking for right here. And so that'll give you the square root of 481, which will not simplify, or 21 9/10. Now on number 6, we're actually looking for x right here for this length that you see up here at the top. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is, since we have a rectangle here with this 17 and this 17, and of course this will be x and this will be x. But if this is 17 and this is 19, I can use the fact that this is a right angle, and I can find this side, which is y, which is a leg. So I can do 17 squared plus y squared equals my hypotenuse of 19 squared. See right here? And as I go through, I'm going to get the square root of 72, which is 8 5/10. So I know that this side is 8 5/10, which means this side will also be 8 5/10. 8 5/10 plus 8 5/10 is 17. So if you take 31 and you subtract 17, you're going to get 14 for this section right here, which is going to equal this section up here. So that tells you that x is equal to 14. Now, looking at number 7, okay, what you've got here is I went ahead and did some calculations. I know this whole thing is 44, so 44 minus 16 will give me 28 for this side. Okay, now in order to figure out what x is, I need to know the length of this side. So I first computed this right angle. Okay, so this is my hypotenuse, this is a leg, and this is a leg. So I did 16 squared plus y squared is 22 squared, which you can see that I've worked out right here. And I get 15 1/10. Once you've figured out that this side is 15 1/10, then you can solve for this side, which will be your hypotenuse. So 28 squared plus 15 1/10 squared is equal to x squared. And that's my second calculation right here. Okay, so square, square, add them together, and take the square root, and you get 31 8/10 for x. Now number 8 is telling us that Scott is using a 12-foot ramp to help load furniture in the back of a moving truck. So I'll let this little line right here be my moving truck. Okay, and then I've got my ramp, which is 12 foot long, on the ground to the back of the truck. And then it tells us that the back of the truck is 3.5 feet off the ground. We want to know the horizontal distance from where the ramp reaches the ground to the ground of the truck. So I'll put my X there. So what I'm looking for is a leg. So 3.5 squared plus x squared equals 12 squared. Work all of those squares out and then subtract your 12 and 25 hundredths. That's a 1. My radical covered that up. The square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 131 and 75 hundredths gives you 11 and 5/10 for this distance. And since it's feet, make sure you put feet.